A good Saturday afternoon, everyone. BAM weather meteorologist Vince Bryan here with your latest forecast for the area. Hope everyone is having a great Saturday out there. Want to get into really the latest and kind of cut to the chase, if you will, in terms of what we're really expecting over the next roughly 48 hours here. You can see taking a look widespread across Kentucky. Winter weather advisories in purple, winter storm warning in light pink, ice storm warning in this darker purple here. That applies as we move further north to much of Illinois, Indiana, southern half of Ohio. Ongoing lake effect here. We have lake effect snow warnings northeastern Ohio. That'll continue for the next few hours, and then kind of flurries to light snow showers here coming from Lake Michigan across western Michigan and northeastern Indiana here. And what you see on radar in Illinois is not reaching the surface. So, in terms of the favored thinking moving forward, again, I'm not going to spend too much time focused on the lake effect. Obviously, this model is all but blind to that. That will continue. I really anticipate over the next few hours here weakening outside of northeastern Ohio. This model is actually trying to see that. I think that area in particular can continue, but outside of that, for again, northeastern Indiana, western Michigan, some additional flurries will be possible, but I think the accumulating snow is slowly starting to taper off here. What I really want to focus on is the kind of upcoming winter storm, which will start to work into the St. Louis area around that 9-10 p.m. time frame tonight as all snow. This will continue as we work. Here's the 1 a.m. time frame getting into your Sunday morning. I think for the Evansville area, we can start to see snow right around 5 to 6 a.m. here. In terms of the colors, been getting a couple questions about this. The kind of pink salmon color, if you will, is sleet. The purple color is more of your freezing rain. Again, you can see that at the bottom here, and then naturally your snow blue, rain green. The darker shade just indicates simply heavier of whatever you're looking at. So again, the freezing rain is the purple, not that kind of pink orange salmon color, if you will. But as we work deeper into the morning hours tomorrow, here's 10 a.m., 11 a.m., I think noon time frame from over towards the Bloomington, Illinois area, Peoria, Indianapolis, Cincinnati. Right around that window, we'll start to see this snow start to kind of work at the onset. The beginning of snow will be light to at times moderate. It's going to be deeper into the system and more in the meat of it, if you will, where you see these heavier, darker, deeper blues. That is 1 to locally as high as 2 inches per hour snowfall rate. So it is going to be coming down very heavy. Meanwhile, sleet across much of St. Louis and south central extreme southern Indiana here, freezing rain dealing with the Evansville, Owensboro, Kentucky area just south of Louisville at this time. As we work into the evening hours, this is whenever I think the worst of it will really be happening east central Illinois, central Indiana, southern Ohio here. And what I want to do is flip over to our future visibility here as to what you can see. Let me kind of zoom in. As we get into that time frame, look at some of these numbers. This is the visibility in miles. This would suggest that kind of peak time frame tomorrow, we're dealing with 1/10 of a mile visibility or less. Because again, you're talking about heavy snow. It's going to probably be a little bit, I don't want to call it fluffy, but on the lighter side of things in terms of it's not a concrete-like snow. It's not heavy and wet. I don't think it's going to be incredibly super hard to shovel or plow. But on the flip side, again, I don't think it's incredibly powdery. It's kind of that middle ground here. But you have that combined with wind gusts 20 to locally 30, 35 mile an hour will create essentially whiteout conditions or reduced visibility, think blizzard-like conditions for a time. Again, whether or not it's officially classified as blizzard-like conditions, I want us to focus on the idea here, not get all technical and specific in that regard. But I think as we kind of flip back here over to the radar, the future radar, as we work into the overnight time frame, this is where we kind of work, and I want to watch this closely here, especially for the Louisville areas, St. Louis and Point South, Terre Haute, Indianapolis. There will be a time frame where we're dealing with widespread freezing drizzle, freezing mist in this window here. This is not going to be all snow for a lot of southern Illinois, southern Indiana. It's going to be more so in terms of all snow, the northern halves of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and you can see further north much of southern Wisconsin and Michigan simply missing out at this time frame. As we work deeper into our morning now on Monday, notice where we saw that freezing rain is now changing over to snow. And I think by the time we're getting into Monday, here's kind of midday time frame. It's going to be Indianapolis over towards Cincinnati, the Lexington, Kentucky areas, really southern half of Ohio will be the remnant snow. And we'll need to watch, I mentioned this past couple videos, some lake effect coming off of Lake Michigan, especially near the Chicago area, Monday afternoon and evening in between kind of Milwaukee and Chicago there. So that's kind of the future radar, if you will. Like I said, there is a lot going on here between freezing rain that is, even a glaze is dangerous. So whenever we're talking about, several tenths of an inch, it is going to cause widespread issues. And then especially as I kind of show you our favored map here, and I'll zoom in for a little bit more information. Again, we have a spot where the high end of this 16 inches in this yellow area may be too low. We may need to go 12 to 18 inches in this area here. But again, you can see the red area, 9 to 12 inches. There is going to be a sharp cutoff. I want to mention this a couple times. I have before and I will again. This area especially, it will not take but 1 or 2 counties to really change the snow forecast in here. Again, a 1 or 2 county shift north or south is entirely possible. That would really kind of adjust totals here. And again, same deal on the south side from St. Louis, north of Louisville, just south of Cincy here. If we mix in a little bit more or less sleet, these totals will go up or down accordingly. So again, this is not a set in stone, 100% guaranteed forecast. We are absolutely expecting a winter storm, absolutely think this is high impacts, but I just want us to know there is still some wiggle room. It's not like this is a 8-county band of 8 inches of snow. This is going to be rather confined in terms of the absolute heaviest. So we will continue to keep you up to date on the snow front. I want to discuss the ice real quick. This cannot be forgotten. Again, even a trace, a glaze will be possible here. The big change from the morning forecast, again, data continues to kind of eye and hone in on that Sunday night, overnight, early Monday morning time frame where some freezing drizzle works in because the upper part of the atmosphere essentially loses its moisture, allows for some freezing drizzle to mix in. So this can create issues. After we've seen several inches of snow, you throw a glaze of ice on it to then have snow fall back on it. Obviously going to create problems. And again, it doesn't even need to be said, but widespread issues anticipated where we're talking about, anything more than a glaze of ice. So especially when we're talking 1/4 to 1/2 inch, southern Illinois, Indiana, southern Ohio, and much of Kentucky and Missouri here. So that's the latest thinking. Again, a lot to digest, a lot to get through here. If you have questions and you have the chat feature, please reach out and have a great rest of your Saturday.